Well, good morning to everybody on the West Coast and good afternoon to everybody on the East Coast. I'm Jessica Washington. I'm really happy to be here with Linda and Huda as we're talking about this. Very, very excited. So first of all, Linda gave us a great introduction. I do work with Discovered TV, and we are a new platform that was established in 2009 to provide opportunities for creators to monetize their content. And it's such a big deal. Coming from a background of production, music, animation, I've produced a lot of things, and I know what it's like to put a lot of time and effort and energy into your productions and editing and post production. And then the question becomes, where does it go? How do I monetize this? And also, how do I generate revenue so I can continue to create? So that's the question that Discovered basically seeks to answer for content creators. Now I'm gonna share my screen here. Let's see, make sure I do this correctly. Here you go. Alrighty, and Huda, can you see that? Are we good now?
Yep, you are all set. That's perfect.
Fantastic. So yeah, as I mentioned, Discovered is developed as a global alternative distribution source for television, film, movies, gaming, and even brands. And we work with fair share revenue. Fair revenue share. So what that means is that we actually split 50% of our ad revenue with the creator. So that's how we become fair share in the market. And we'll go into that today. We'll talk about the platform, and we'll also talk about the technology behind advertising and what that means for us as creators. We are global, pretty much all over the world. Uh, and this is something that I jumped on board with maybe 2.5, 3 years ago when I first heard the concept. I really couldn't believe that somebody wanted to actually pay creators. So this was a big deal for me. And we are a hub to find people to connect, to collaborate with your fans and creators all in one place. Our platform is free. So if you're familiar with the, standard YouTube, Vimeo setup, it's completely free to join. Um, and we are monetized by advertising revenue, downloads, ticket sales, and merchandising, which we will be launching here shortly. So Discovered is basically 4 different modes. So the benefit of this is when you're uploading your content to this system, you can specifically search for television, movies, or gaming specifically. And people would say, why is that a big deal? Well, when we go to a lot of these platforms and we search, we get a plethora of things that may not be what we're looking for. So being able to narrow down exactly what you're looking for is a big deal. And so that's why we have built it this way. Um, our video distribution and ad tech implementations for brands and agencies generate targeted, impactful advertising campaigns in a variety of formats. So we suit the client's needs, whether it's a large company like Cadillac or Wendy's. I mean, we've got some great advertisers that are on the platform. So our technologies are live and on multiple devices and applications. We are in all Samsung Tizen CTV television sets. We're on iOS, Android, mobile web, and desktop. And we will be expanding that to include Roku as well as Android TV. So by the end of this month, we should be reaching around, let's say, 300 million connected television sets, which is great for creators. So let's go, backwards, let's say, into the technology of how this is actually run and how we as creators. Uh, uh, we've got a guest in the room.
Turn your mic on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, so I want to talk about what is ad tech, because when we're dealing with platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, even for Reels, the technology behind how that works. So ad tech is basically an umbrella term for advertising technology. It includes a set of software and tools used by advertisers, ad agencies, publishers, and other industry players for strategic planning and management of their advertising or monetization activities. So when we're seeing a commercial, for example, on the pre-roll of a YouTube video, that would be an example of ad tech or a reel, in your stories, as they pop up. So the history of ad tech, if we go back 20 years, this did not exist in this way on the digital market. So now this has become a revolutionary breakthrough in improving the effectiveness of advertising. The rapid development of ad tech led to ad agencies. Well, it gave them the ability to help their clients place ads on websites that will bring them maximum ROI. So when you're looking at any website, the advertisements that you see are specifically directed for you based on your preferences, how you search, where you shop, what you buy. So this is also known as programmatic advertising. So this is a big deal for the ad agencies and their clients. So the Internet Advertising Bureau defines programmatic advertising as the technology that automates, excuse me, digital media buying. So the entire process of buying and selling digital ad inventory is done in real time via automated bidding. If you've ever done a campaign online for advertising, they'll ask, do you want to just have an amount or do you want to bid? That's that process, and it's called real-time bidding or RTB. Now, multiple advertisers will place their bid on a specific audience simultaneously, and the highest bidder among them wins the audience impressions. So this whole action takes less than 100 milliseconds to complete. Very, very fast. So what this does is this allows publishers and advertisers to buy and sell audience traffic automatically instead of negotiating prices directly. It helps advertisers reach a wider yet more relevant audience faster due to smart targeting algorithms of programmatic platforms, while publishers can sell their inventory at the highest possible price. So this becomes important to us as creators because we have to determine what is the value of our content. If I record a podcast today, what is the value of that time and space in my podcast? And so this is where we as content creators need to start understanding what our value is, what the space is worth. And it is a big deal. If we think about, for example, the Super Bowl, those commercials are vastly, different than what we see every day. They're still 15, they're still 30 seconds, very fast. But the rate at which they're charging for that space. So the value of your space and understanding what that's worth is a big deal. So this leads us to the growth of programmatic TV, podcasts, and audio. So what we're seeing is a paradigm shift in digital content consumption as we start to move from cable TV to OTT services, which is over the top, like Discovered, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Paramount, and others. The consumption of the multimedia is combined on the web, generally between mobile devices, tablets, applications, and connected to the Internet TV or CTV. So Discovered, as I mentioned, is distributed in the App Store, the Play Store, Samsung, Web, Android TV, Roku. And this allows you as a creator to basically launch your own global television channel on over 300 million televisions in minutes. Creators on platforms like Discovered earn through the ads that are viewed or heard on their audio and video content. So it's similar to the standard setup that we see with most platforms without the restrictions. So for example, if I start a page today on YouTube, in order for me to monetize my content, I have to have a minimum of 3,000 subscribers. And that's a great deal. Just starting out, it takes a while to build that type of following. So, or 400 hours of watch time, which again, it takes a while to build that type of following. So we, remove those barriers, and this is what makes Discovered special. So Discovered allows creators to get paid on the first ads that run on your content. So as soon as you start with the platform, you're already able to monetize. There's no number of subscribers or watch hours required. Your earnings are calculated on a CPM, or cost per thousand. And CPM stands for cost per milli. I know people, ask, why is it not CPT, right? But it's cost per thousand ads. So for an example, if 1,000 ads run on your content, most creators would make between 30 to 70 cents per thousand. So when you see videos with 100,000 views, you can kind of do the math on, what they're actually paying. So since Discovered is fair trade for the creator community, our goal is to make sure the creators are getting paid $2 to $10 per thousand ads. That's a huge, huge difference. The rates are going to vary on the video and the audio ads based on the device that it's seen or heard on. So connected television obviously pays the highest in terms of the advertisers, and phones and desktop computers, phones are the lowest, and then desktop computers are right in the middle. So based on the platform the viewer is watching your content on will determine the price of that ad, or the rate that you're being paid for those advertisements. But there's a big difference between 30 cents and 70 cents and $2 to $10. And that's how we as creators are able to continue to create and monetize our content, if we're actually making some money. So now, how to get started with Discovered? It's very, very, very simple. Again, it's free. You would just simply go to discover.tv in your browser, or in the Play Store or App Store, either one, or even on your smart TV. I would suggest signing up on mobile web or desktop or the app. Very simple. And as a creator, what you're going to want to do is go to the sign up, and you're going to choose a standard sign up. Now, some people say, well, what's the difference between Express and Standard? So a standard sign up gives you access to all of the monetization tools, everything that you would need as a creator. Express is, let's just say it's a fan, someone who only wants to be a viewer. They want to watch. They really don't plan on necessarily engaging with the platform as a creator and uploading content to monetize. Now, one thing I will note here is Discovered also has a social mode. This is great because as a creator, a lot of times people want to share our content, but they don't have the rights to repost it. So our social mode gives them a way to share with their friends and their network without actually monetizing your content. So that's a great thing. So once you actually sign up, it's very simple: name, email, password. You'll immediately receive an activation email. So you're going to want to check that. And I would say definitely check your spam, or if you're using Gmail, check your promotions folder, because it will tend to go there. And you want to activate the account simply by clicking the button. Once you actually log in, they will ask, how did you discover us? Pretty straightforward. And then you want to choose your account type. So as I mentioned, we do have a fan account, which is for fans. We have a brand account for businesses, companies, and brands. And the icon account is our version of, let's say, verified. Those are verified record labels, verified people, public figures, that is with a major label or a major studio or a major company. So we kind of make that differentiation. Emerging would be an artist that has never been signed. So if you've never been signed, if you're not with a major production studio, you would be emerging. So we would click that, and then you would simply enter the type. Are you a singer, a producer, a rapper, a songwriter, an actor? You would make that distinction here. So the next screen that you'll go to will ask you for your details and setting up your profile. The same as most sites that we're used to signing up on, you would choose your profile URL and fill in all the relevant information here. Okay, now this part is really important. So as I mentioned, because we do have a social mode and a channel, similar to the setup how you would see with YouTube, you have a separate channel and a profile. So you're going to want to do two things. you're going to want to upload one video in your social channel. At the top of all the profiles, there's this huge space, and consider this space your billboard, okay? And that billboard is the first thing that people see. So you're going to want to upload at least one video in the channel and in the social. If you're uploading a television show or content, when you're in the process of uploading, it will ask you, do you want to share to social? And you can do that, simultaneously. So this is like your billboard and your promotion. And also, this is important because no one will find you if you haven't uploaded a video. So the way our search works, we don't pull accounts that don't have any content. So you're going to want to upload that video there. And it must be the same in all the places. Okay. Now, from this point, you're going to want to complete setting up your profile and your channel. This part here for you guys, for the creators, this is important. So as I mentioned, you can upload a social video or a photo with no monetization, but this is an important button. So once you set your profile picture here, all of this information will be generated from your sign up. You have the option to upload that social photo or monetize your video. Monetize your video is where we want to go. So that is how you add to your channel. And you'll notice here at the top, we have social, channel, your playlist, about. So you can fill in your about, and your channel is actually your television channel. Let's put it that way. So we try to make it easy to upload the videos and pictures, simple drag and drop, and our player and everything is completely proprietary. So the good news about these players, and I'm going to go down here when we talk about monetization, there's something very special about this. You will go ahead and monetize your video, click on it, it's uploading. And the best part about this is you can do up to 10 videos at one time. So for those of you that have content on other platforms, you're able to, bring that over and migrate it pretty quickly. And we do support MP4 and MOV files as well. So once you upload a video, you're going to come to the details page. And you have the option to set a custom thumbnail, which I always love. I think it makes, the work look more professional. So I would definitely suggest, doing a custom thumbnail if you have, time to do that and to resize it to the proper dimensions. Here, you can add it to a playlist. You'll select the mode. And what the mode is this television? Is this movies? Is this gaming? Very simple. You'll select your genre, any subgenres that you want it related to. You'll put in a title, choose the language, and it's very straightforward, and your video keywords and tags. On the platform, you can also separate your content for age groups. So is this available for everyone, which is unrestricted? Is this more mature content for, that may have a little, I don't know, violence. It may have cursing in it. If it's music, you may want to differentiate that. So we also have those filters. And also, is it public or private? Very, very simple. So once you actually finish filling in all your details, you will be able to watch, stream, and share your video on social media with other creators on Discovered as well. So you'll just simply click the share button and you'll have access to every single thing that we're used to on most sites to share our content. The one thing I will mention about our player, and I said earlier that it was proprietary. Now, I don't know if many of you know this, but when we share players from other platforms, whether it's Vimeo, whether it's YouTube, they do not monetize that. So when you're embedding players in your website, when you're sharing links on social media, if the viewer is not watching from youtube.com or the YouTube app, it's not being monetized, even if you're in the monetization program. With this player, you can embed this in your site and share it on social media, and we're still sharing the revenue with you. And that's a big deal because a lot of time we're using multiple platforms to share our work. And that's important that we get paid on all of them. So the other great thing about this is our back end. You actually have a full dashboard. And one thing I will note, if you're looking at the mobile app, it's going to give you a more simplified dashboard. This dashboard is available on web. So you're going to want to look at the web if you want all of the details. It's awesome. So for any of us that, love to use Twitter and social to, push your content, this is great because not only can you see how many views your content is getting, but you can also see how many advertisements are played on that content and how much you've earned from each video specifically. This is important because if I put a blast out on Twitter right now, I want to be able to see the results in real time. And I don't want to just see traffic. I want to know how much am I making from this traffic. So this gives you a great overview of that. Very, very simple to set this up. And you definitely want to set up your payout information, which is PayPal, or if you prefer the direct deposit, you can fill that information out here. Very, very simple. And it makes it very easy for you to check what's happening. So overall, I mean, this is really the basis of the platform. It's really that simple. Um, and this is something that creators need. As I mentioned, it's really hard for us with all of these platforms to try to earn revenue. I've seen some platforms say, give me 54 million views and I'm going to give you $30,000. That's so little. But they're only able to do that because most creators, as I mentioned, do not know the value of our space. So what we're doing is making sure that creators know the value of their space. So I am completely done with this presentation. Huda, if you want to chime in, it's
Yeah,
really that simple just to run through it that fast.
I did have a quick question. I remember when Charles was going over some of the information with us last week, he opened up a profile. I'm going to try and remember this so I can explain it right. He opened up a profile and he said, oh, this person is not even really on our radar because she hasn't completed all the steps to
Correct.
make sure that her profile is complete. And I think there was like I don't know if it was a trailer or there was something. And I just want to make sure that our students and our graduates are adding that so that their profile is complete and they can really start monetizing.
Absolutely. And I'll go back to this very first step with the profile and channel. So, a lot of people, they don't make the distinction between social profile and channel. So when you upload your first video, you want to make sure that you have it in your channel, but on your actual profile, this lovely gentleman here pointing at this button, you want to click this. Again, you want to add this social video because that's your billboard. That's how our system knows that you're actually in the system and that we should be displaying your content. So instead of just monetizing it and clicking into the channel, you want to make sure you add this video at the top and your social video. That will help you be found. And that's really the biggest part. That's the incomplete count notice that you see here. So it has to be in this space. And when you're looking at the profiles, and I'll give you an example here since we're online. Let's see. We'll just go straight to it. So for example, we'll just kind of take this gentleman here. And there we go. This is me and my trying to share a computer. Okay. Uh-oh. This might be me. Can you all still see my screen?
Yeah, we can still see it. You're
Oh,
on
okay.
the discovered .tv
Yeah,
website.
but my computer, yeah, okay, this is my computer kind of flipping out because we're trying to do both. But I'm see if I can pull us up a pro. Oh, yeah, it's flipping out. Yeah, because we're on the
Because we're in the share mode.
yeah, we're on the share mode. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can just pull it up one time. I'll try it again. Yeah, the share is making it skip, but let's see. There we go. So we'll go to Young Martez. We'll go to his profile. So this is the video here at the top. You want to make sure that this is in place. So that gentleman that we were just looking at, this is where he will be. You'll click the button and you'll be able to add it in. And so this is really what a channel would look like. This gentleman has been in since the very beginning. So he's in our founders club, right? And he's got a ton of content, and this is his player. But this is the video at the very top that we want to make sure is there. Yeah.
Is that easy enough to switch out, like as you want to maybe update your profile or anything like that? You just
Absolutely.
update it, right? Okay. All right.
Absolutely. And you really want your newest content to be there. That's
Sure.
what I would say. You want to promote yourself and use that space as a billboard. Let's see if I can get back to our meeting here. Yeah, and use this space as a billboard for yourself. So that's really important.
I
Okay.
have a I have another question, Jessica, along those lines. When you were going through that part, you also mentioned to be sure it's the same in all places. What does that mean? Be sure it's the same in all places.
Correct. So again, in your social mode and in your video channel mode, you just want to make sure when you first start your profile that you have a video in both places. So when you click monetize, there is an option once you fill out the details to say, would you like to share this to your social profile as well? If you click yes in that option, then you're killing two birds with one stone. However, if you don't, then you're going to need to go into the social mode and add a video there as well. So,
Okay, so then the best advice is to click the social mode at that point, right? So that
correct.
you got it going on in both places. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you. So that was from Linda and Huda.
It looks
And
like
now
Chris
the
has
floor
his
is
hand up. He has a question. Chris, if you want to unmute and ask, that'd be great.
Oh, how you doing, ladies? So if I'm getting this correct, Discover can act as the one all be all, and it'll still go to all the social sites without having to upload here, and just kind of go to separate spots. Correct?
Well, no, you would still have to upload or share it to the other places. Really, with Discovered, we just try to make it easy to monetize the content. So when you are sharing to Twitter and when you are sharing to LinkedIn and Facebook, that you're actually using a link that will monetize your content instead of using the other players where, for the most part, these other companies are still making money off of our content, even if we don't. They're making money off the space. So basically, using a player that you can share that will allow you to monetize your work on all platforms.
And Jessica, does that answer your question, Chris?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. And someone did ask if we could put the links. Really, it just looks like they need to go to discover.tv, and I can put that in the chat, to get started with the standard application that you said instead of the express link. Yeah. Okay. I'll find
Absolutely.
that and I'll drop it in.
Sign up standard. If you have a Samsung television at home, you can search Discover TV, pull it right up, take a look at it. I mean, and I watch it myself. Like, if I'm home on a Saturday, I'm watching it, I'll let it roll, I'll let it play. We've got content from all over the world. So it's really interesting.
excellent.
Awesome. Does anyone else? Darius, I see you have a question. Go ahead.
How does that work for people who do like live streams? Like my
Live
podcast,
stream?
yeah, like we stream our show live and then take the audio elsewhere. So how does this work for people who do live stream shows?
I'm glad you asked that question, Darius. Thank you. Yes, we do have a live mode. So you are able to do your live stream on Discovered, which is obviously another great thing because we can reach so many people. So yeah, you can definitely set that up. Now, currently, when you go into our live, they ask you, how often do you stream? It's not immediate right now, like let's say Instagram or some of the other platforms. Because we're just rolling this out, we rolled out our live right before the NAB convention this year. So if you have a show, you simply click live, you fill out the information on how often you do your show, and we let you in and you're live. Yeah. Now,
Now, can I follow up question?
Sure.
absolutely.
So I use like, say we use like Restream, StreamYard, something like that. Does that integrate in with it, or would it be a separate thing?
For now, it's a separate thing. I'm glad you asked that, Darius, because I'm familiar with Restream. And that's something that we're working on now is to be integrated into those platforms. So in the future, absolutely, there are a few tools that we can use that will allow us to do both. But now, like I said, for now it's new, but hopefully like very soon we will be a part of the Restream community because I know how big that is for the podcasters.
Along those same lines, Jessica, I know in talking with Charles, he did say that there is not really a category for podcasters. So do you want to let our audience know where they go with their podcasts?
Yeah, I would actually put podcasts under television because right now podcasts are basically TV. It's our form of entertainment that we watch, whether it's the Breakfast Club or, anybody. This is our new form of TV and we watch it that way. So I would consider a podcast television.
Thank you. Audrey?
Absolutely.
Hello. Yes. Thank you so much for your time, Jessica, and everyone involved. This has been so fun, so helpful. I'm curious if there is any format for audio alone, if there's no video attached, if it's just podcast style, only audio.
Yes, what I would do if I had a audio podcast for now, because we don't have an audio mode, but we are rolling that out. Audio and audio only podcasts are supposed to get really over the so you would
Yeah,
want to
right.
do the TV category. I would put up a great cover and just put it in the television category for now. And then as we
Okay.
roll out the audio mode, then we'll be able to, migrate that there. But yeah, I would just totally put that up as TV with a great cover.
Very cool. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Do we have any other questions? You're welcome to raise your hand or drop it in the chat if you want, and Linda and I can read it out loud. But this is your time. If you have any questions on the profile, how to set it up, or specific monetization questions, go ahead and raise your hand or jump in.
And I would also
I have a
say,
question.
oh, go ahead.
Is there any inside purchases that are in this Discovery A?
In terms of inside purchases, so like
Yeah,
a
like
or
for like for lower thirds and stuff like that, or is that stuff like a given, or will it be accepted from our platform?
well, all of our advertising runs through that programmatic system. So if you want to have advertising, let's say inside your show or lower
Uh-huh.
third, then I mean you can totally do that. Because I know for a lot of shows, it's important that we have sponsors, to help us
Right.
continue to keep, creating. So yeah, I would say, you want to think of this as your own television station. So any
Okay.
advertising
Okay.
inside, you're totally welcome to do.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you have, if you guys have content now on YouTube or other platforms, I would say bring that content over, and start using these players when you're sharing your content. Start, just using it. That's really the biggest thing. I know a lot of us have content everywhere. Um, and the only thing we don't really have a place for now is shorts. So I would say, hey, your shorts, yeah, that's still going to be your TikToks, right? But everything else in terms of shows, your music, if you're working with films, that's what you really want to place here, podcasts. Yeah.
Awesome. Jessica, we do have a
Yeah,
question in
I
the
have I
chat.
have a question.
Oh,
They have a question.
is that
Yeah, when it
Delisa? Go
comes
ahead.
when it comes to the actual payout, how do you suggest people to set up like their payout situation? Like, is it like do you connect it to a bank account? Like, when you get all of these views and you start to get actually paid, and you're seeing the amount of what you've accumulated, how do you convert that into physical dollars into an account?
That is a great question, right? Because that's always the question. How do we get it out, right? Yeah, no, it's really simple. We work with PayPal or you can do ACH transfer. That's simple. Yeah, I mean, it's that easy, So we don't want people to have to jump through hoops to get the revenue that they're generating. So when you sign up as a creator, you'll want to fill in that information. It will ask you, do you want to, set up a PayPal? And you can actually go right to the payout screen. And I'll pull that back up for you here, just so we have that. Let's see. Do, 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 do.
Jessica, while you're doing that, one of the questions in the chat was related, asking how often do you pay out?
Right now, they're doing monthly.
Okay.
So that's really, it's on a monthly basis. But again, as we grow, then we want to, bring in the ability for people to, cash out. But for now, and I'm just going to share my screen while we're talking here. Um, let's see. Here we go. So when you are filling out your profile, I'm going to go down here to your dashboard. All the way at the bottom, you'll see here's your payouts. So you're going to want to fill in this information and settings and put in your PayPal or your ACH information there. So I just wanted to show you guys where to find this stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think that was Mike. Did that answer your question, Mike?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely,
Perfect.
absolutely.
Perfect.
She's doing, and I just wanted to mention she's doing an incredible job giving us this information today. I'm blown away with this platform.
Yeah, it's very, yes,
Me
Jessica, your
too.
delivery is making it very easy to follow. So we really do appreciate that. We have lots of hands raised, which is awesome. I'm going to go down the list. So I've got, I hope I say this right, Jalisa, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, hello. Firstly, I would like to apologize for coming on a little late. I've been feeling underneath the weather and I'm coming from a doctor's appointment.
You're good.
I do want to say thank you so much, Jessica, for giving us this plethora of information and how to like be our best selves as a creative professional, because that's really what this was all about, at least for me. Um, so boom, my question is, have you heard of symphonic distribution? And is this similar to that in that the type of criteria that's needed into submitting like your video content? Because I'm a budding artist and I just would like to align myself with the best avenues for a return on my investment, to be very honest and real. And I looked into symphonic and they seem like they're, widely distributed or however. However, it's a lot of stringent rules and criteria on how my video needs to be in order to for it to even be submitted for approval. So I wanted to know, like, do you guys have limitations like graphics, contextual graphics, and certain sizing? And pardon me if you guys went over this already, but that would be my question.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's a two-part answer. And number one, I hope you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So two parts. So one part is going to be, and I'll scroll up here to this actual space so you can see it. So part of it is going to be here. Okay. So when we have content, let's say it's rap music, it may be really heavy on the cursing. It may be, a little more graphic. So we would want to select this and make that 18 and up.
Okay.
Very simple. As long as it's not obviously porn, something like that, or something of a sexual nature. But if it's like, cursing, or if it's a video, dancers, all that, that's fine. If it's mature, we want to put this on 18 and up. If you have something that you feel is, great for everyone, children, teens, then you would just leave this on unrestricted and everyone on the platform can see it. So this is our way of filtering it out. But the second part to your question, no, we don't make a distinction, excuse me, on whose content should be there and who shouldn't. We want all creators to be able to be a part of this platform. And specifically as a musician, it's a difficult thing because it's harder for us to generate watch hours. Let's kind of put that in context. So if I'm trying to monetize, or as you put it, get a return on my investment from a YouTube, then I have to have 400 hours of watch time in 12 months. So if we take the average music video, that's 3 minutes long, and we really want to calculate how many people am I getting to get to 400 hours. So what we did was take that barrier down. So the moment that you upload your music or your video to this platform, you are already monetizing. So as long as you click this button, and I'll go all the way back to it on your profile, as long as you click this button, you're monetizing. Now, when you talk about some of the other distributors, I'm not familiar with Symphonic. I've heard of it, but I'm not all the way familiar on how they work. Some of them may have different outlets or different places where they do have restrictions on what they want because they're acting more as a distributor, like even if it's a Universal or Warner Brothers, or so they're being more selective, like an Empire. That's probably what you're running into. But this platform is open to all creators.
Hi, my name is Africa. I
Thank
just
you. Thank
chimed
you.
in.
Absolutely.
Um, I'm not sure what happened, but I do see that Darius has his hand raised. Go ahead, Darius.
I just want to know, was there like a time limit on the video?
In terms of long or short?
Like length.
Oh no, you're good to go. I mean, it's like if you're monetizing something, I mean, obviously you don't want it to be 30 seconds, but you can put a 30-second video up, you can put a 30-minute video up, you could put an hour up. That's the great part about the platform, especially because we service films as well. So yeah, the length is not really, a concern, whatever type of content that you have. Now, Darius, are you the one that does the podcasting, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how long are your episodes usually?
Like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It just depends on where the conversation's going sometimes.
Absolutely. And I mean, I would say you can upload the entire thing. Depending on how you do your promotion and marketing, you might want to do a version of it that's the full version and maybe do shorter segments so that way you're getting more um, advertising on those videos. But you can totally load the full hour and a half or 2 hours. But I would suggest breaking that down into maybe 20, 30-minute segments. And then now you're monetizing 4 videos instead of 1.
Well, I mean, we do like 3 interviews and then like a half-hour discussion with all our guests sometimes, so I can just break it down like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Jessica, that aligns with where the ads are inserted into the content, doesn't it? Like there's time segments and the ads that are going to play at a particular time. I think I had heard 9 minutes or something like that. That
correct.
might be an industry standard. So maybe taking a quick second to explain because you're making such a good point, and I just want to be sure everybody understands what you're explaining there.
Exactly. Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, Linda. So ads are inserted, let's say every 8 minutes, 8 to 9 minutes in your content, right? A lot of times, just depending on who your guests are and how engaging it is the reason why I suggested maybe loading a full version, but breaking it down as well. Sometime, and also, quote unquote, that's where your clickbait comes from. So now we're starting to kind of lean over into promotion and marketing, but that's where your clickbait comes from to say, hey, this is this specific part that people may want to get to instead of watching the entire 2 hours. But even if you upload a 2 hour video, there'll still be advertising inserted every, 8 to 9 minutes.
Yep. And thank you, Jessica. Can I add a part two to that? Because it's another thing that kind of sticks out in my mind. When they upload their content, they're getting a link, correct? And they're sharing that link to their platforms. And you're such a social media guru that, maybe you could expound on that a little bit more for those that are novices about how to really grow their following with that.
Absolutely. So, and I'll scroll to this part because I just love it, being so easy to share. So, and I know as content creators, we're going to still continue to put our content on these other platforms. We have to because we never know where the fans are, right? And we have to go where the people are. But this is very simple. So, once you have your video uploaded, you're simply clicking share post and you can share it to Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, on Discovered, or any other site, including your website. So, I mean, this is important because right now people are concerned with the immediate, right? And you want to be consistent. So if you're having a podcast or a show, using your links and sharing on social is so important so people know that it's relevant. And that's the biggest thing. So it's really easy just to share this link, and again, you're still monetizing your content. So if I'm watching this video on your website, you're still getting paid. which is very important because most people don't understand the structure of how we get paid on these other platforms because most people aren't really making any money. So they haven't really bothered to ask those questions, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, it's just that simple. You would click share post, boom, take it to your social. Because right now, people also, if you've noticed, people aren't really reading. People want to hear it or they want to see it. And if you can share that to your social, then that's really what you want. They want to hear it and see it right now.
Right. And
Okay.
one more
I'm
thought,
sorry. Go
and then
ahead.
I'm going to let you go to the masses, but you've got your own following. Like each of these content creators have their own following. And so you are really in the driver's seat to build your following on these great platforms by taking this link. And I love what Jessica said. You know, you want to be everywhere. You know those places that your following is finding you, but this gives you an additional way to get that viewership back to Discovered, where you're going to get those views that you're getting in other places simultaneously. And these views are really going to add up a bit quicker for you. So I just want to drive that point because, like you said, we want to be in all places, but this gives you that opportunity to give what's already posted another ride around, which I think makes this so wonderful and exciting. Okay, back to the floor.
All
And
right,
just to
we've actually got,
So,
Jen Ice, has their hand raised, and then Africa is up next. So Jen Ice, if you want to unmute and ask your question, go ahead. Maybe?
Hi, okay. I think my question actually got answered a few back. That was how often you guys pay out. And then I was thinking, I think my question got answered again when I came up with another one, and that was if you pay retro, because like if you already have thousands of views on YouTube, but I know it doesn't work that way because you have a player, so everything starts from that upload and from that upload and that point forward. Am I correct?
Correct, correct. We can only monetize what's uploaded on the Discover platform. So from day one, when you upload and monetize your first video, then you start making money from that point forward. Yeah, so that's really the route. And just to kind of
So,
tie that back into the question that Linda asked, because I know you had a young lady that was doing music, for example. So yeah, you want to start uploading here, sharing the link, even though, like I said, you may be on YouTube or other platforms, but I would say share this link. So what I tell people is, as music artists or producers, we still have to upload it to other platforms because people are there. But in this case, when I'm sharing it, I'm sharing this link. I'm not sharing a YouTube link, but we can only start monetizing from the day that you start with Discover.
That
right.
makes sense.
Okay, I got you.
Great, thank you. Africa, I know you've been trying to ask something. Go ahead, jump in.
Hi, yeah. So I actually did have a question on like as far as the content that you can upload. So currently I actually do make videos on TikTok. I have a little bit over 9,000 followers. Um and on there I mostly do like food reviews, like like that stuff's kind of trending. Would I be able to upload that type of stuff on Discover as well?
Oh, absolutely. And I love food reviews because I love food.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's a huge market. So yeah, no, I think that's great. We love reviews. For example, this the platform, excuse me, or the profile that we're looking at here. This is Clip Hash. This is a profile that reviews movies, film,
Would I be able
TV.
to like so I can review anything as far as like because I like to do makeup and hair and all that stuff? Would I have to keep my profile pretty universal, or can I expand and pretty much upload any type of review that I would want?
Oh yeah, no, you're free to upload any type of review that you want. So yeah, you want to think of this as, like I say, your own television station, the same way that we look at like TikTok, as you mentioned. Same exact thing, except the only difference is we're actually monetizing our content at a higher
Okay.
rate. That's it.
Oh, that'd be awesome because I actually this year I got a chance to get paid for my videos on Facebook. But they actually don't have a very good payout. So it's like I'll
Right.
get like 1,000 views and I'll get like 70 cents and I'm like, what the heck?
Exactly. And that's a great point because I mean you're actually experiencing in real time. I'm gonna scroll all the way back up here to ad tech. This is what we were saying. So for that 1,000 views, like she said, she's getting 30 to 70 cent per 1,000 people. So what we want to do is bring that up to $2 to $10 per
Awesome.
1,000 people, per 1,000 ads, right? And that makes more sense. I mean, I've seen platforms say, give me 54 million views for $30,000. So what that means is that creator was getting paid 0.005 cent, not even a penny. But
Yeah.
again, if you don't know the value of the space, right, then we're just like, yeah, I've gotten the same thing on the platforms. They're like, hey, give me so many views, or we'll give you 1,000, all that. I'm like, yeah, right. Because it's way more work, and as creatives, we put a lot into our productions, like editing and putting all of it
Yeah, it's a
together.
lot.
Yeah. So it's like, this is why I started working with Discover, because I felt like if we have an opportunity to make more money from our content, then we can create more. We don't have to work another job to be a creator. So this is what it's all about.
Wow,
Perfect.
that's awesome.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to DCY. You have your hand up. If you want to ask a question, jump in.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm loading back up. But yeah, I have three quick questions. Um one of my shows on on my platform, they do like entertainment and music. Like, will we be able to like show the videos or play the music still? Like, is there like, will we have to have? I do have a ASCAP license, but I'm in the process of taking care of my BMI music license. Like, will we have to make sure that we stay, licensed under the music that's played, whether it be independent or like major label?
Yeah, correct. So what I would do is, if I'm monetizing it, I
Hmm.
would the major label stuff I would keep out, just as if you don't have direct permission from them to play it.
Okay.
Um, but what I would do is I would get clearance from the people that I'm interviewing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as long as you have that clearance for your show to say, hey, we have the right to promote this, we have the right to monetize this. And I would get that up front with the creator. So on the back end, there wouldn't be any issues with that being monetized. But for right now, yeah, I would say you can upload that type of content, but just making sure that you have that paperwork with the
Oh,
creators.
okay. And then, am I correct? Like, I can put this player on my website. I could put this Discover TV player on my website to be able to play
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Woo.
And I know we're going here for this hour, but I'm going to show you guys. Let's see if I can get into a site that we just did a promotion, which we're doing for the Cannes Festival. And as this loads, I'll let that load. But for the Cannes Lions Festival this week, and hopefully this loads because my computer's being a little weird because we're streaming here. There we go. So this is an example of a promotion that we did. This is the actual player. So this is just right inside, and this is a promotion that we did with Second Life. We're promoting it with Microsoft, but it's just that simple. That's it. I mean, and we put it in the sites. I use it for all the sites that I build, for my companies, for the artists that we work with, because we do have a record label. I use it for my TV shows. And again, it's not that I don't put the content on YouTube, because I have to put it everywhere, right? But when I'm sharing or when I'm building my website, I use Discover Players.
That's awesome.
Jessica, I believe that at some point I heard mention that you can actually do a live stream event and you could charge for an event, right? You could create your own event and you're able to monetize that as well.
Correct,
Oh,
correct. And so the live stream is something that we're really, really building out on. Like I said, we're in the process of launching the marketplace, which will allow creators to sell their merchandise. It will allow you to do ticketing for your events. So if you're doing seminars or you want to do paid events online, you'll be able to, excuse me, do that as well. And that's going to be really awesome. And then depending on the setup, Like let's say I've got somebody who's doing a huge concert event and they need multi-cams and they've got all of this encoding. We can support that and our team will work with you to get that all the way out and get it across. Like recently at the NAB convention, National Association of Broadcasters, we ran a beta test with Microsoft, streaming their live interviews from the floor of the convention to the platform, all over. And they were streaming in like 3 platforms, and we were showing how we could use Teams software to tie into Discovered. So there's so much you can do with this platform. Yep, I would just say jump right in, and we'll make sure that as these things become available, that the creators know about it, they're notified. Now you can sell your merch, now you can do ticketing, but that makes a big difference for us.
Okay, I know that we're coming up, thank you, Jessica,
Mhm.
on 2:30, which is our full hour. There's still a couple of questions. If you have 5 more minutes, maybe we could make those our last two. And perhaps Jessica can come back and we could talk a little further because I think everybody's kind of catching on. They've got a lot of questions to go. Jess, do you have 5 more minutes? We can do the last two questions and then we'll wrap.
Sure, I'll hang out with you as long as you'd like, Linda. This is
Okay.
great. I'm enjoying this.
Oh,
Before
thank
we
you.
I'm going to jump to Jaleesa, but I do
Okay.
want to ask Jessica, is there a good way as they think of questions maybe after this? What's the best way for them to reach out and ask those?
I would say if it's something Discover related, I would say get with us on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Honestly, you can come to my page right now if you have a question.
Yep.
Or what I'll do is I'll provide you guys with an email that's just general like help. We'll also put down this what I was gonna say, this whole presentation for you guys. So you can go back and review it if you have any questions on how it works. But I would say just, reach out. We are on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn. And we love talking to the creators and working with them. So direct would be the best way.
Perfect. All right. I found your LinkedIn. I'm going to drop it in the chat. And then for everyone that's on here, the recording will be ready usually about midweek. So I will share that out by Friday with the presentation that Jessica forwards to us. And then if you have any questions, you certainly can reach out to her through LinkedIn or reach out through that general help web email that she's going to provide. So go ahead, Jaleesa, jump in with your question.
Hi, yes, it's really short and sweet, and it might be even silly, but I was wondering, do the views only count if they're a member of Discover? This is called Discovery, right?
Discover.
Discover. Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Anybody can watch this. So if you're sharing it on Twitter, Facebook, the person who's watching doesn't have to be registered on Discover for you to monetize. Anybody can watch it anywhere in the world, and you're
Okay.
still good to go.
All right, that's what I want to know. Thank you so much, Jessica, for your time. I really appreciate it. This was an amazing presentation. Thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and I appreciate it. And again, you guys, we're trying to make this easy for creators. So we want to make sure that you can share this. We don't want your fans or your viewers to jump through hoops to get to your content. We're just, on the programmatic advertising side, saying, hey, let's get some revenue from these ads instead of being on platforms where they put advertisements on our content, but they don't even pay us. But that means that they're making money that they're not sharing with us. So that's the barrier that we're breaking down with this platform.
Thank you. And then last question is Jen Ice.
Yes, so I'm still from the old school, and I believe that it takes guerrilla marketing to drive physical people to online. So my question is, and I do a lot of events, and I attend a lot of events. Um, do you allow flyers to be printed to advertise this service? Like, do you allow the use of your logo? Do you have marketing tools like that? Do you have a how would one go about advertising this in a tangible form outside of online?
Absolutely. And I know when we do events and everything, we're like, just kind of like how you see here with the Google Play or the Roku, if you say, hey, watch this on Discover, we're totally fine with that. That's totally fine. Watch this on it because we use that all the time, as creatives when we're releasing or doing promos online, we have to tell people where to go to see it. So that is fine. we appreciate that, working with creators and them promoting what we're doing as well. So that works hand in hand, just as long as it's not representing the company like I'm with Discovered or I work for Discovered. But if you're saying, hey, check this out on Discovered, totally fine.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Hey, I have to say a huge thank you. We did really well, Jessica. 234 is not bad, right? Woohoo. And you were awesome.
Thank you.
I've gone to LinkedIn. It's easy to get in touch with Jessica. Discovered TV, make sure you have that extra ED at the end of Discover when you're looking up the website. And we will continue to feed you on this so that we can also assist you. And again, as Huda said, for everybody that's here, you're going to be receiving an email with the content that Jessica presented. And the first time around, it's a lot to take in, but I think as you go step by step, you'll better understand things and, recognize the value of what you're already doing. Now you've got this great site that you can upload content. And for many of you, you already have a lot of content. You can start to bring your followers to Discover TV for monetization, which is amazing, and so professional, which is also amazing. So a huge thank you from the Be On Air Network of Media Schools, Jessica, and for everybody that's in attendance. And we encourage everybody, go to Discovered TV, look up Jessica. Huda provided an email in the chat, and let's stay connected so that your following can also be connected.
Absolutely. And, it's my job to work with creators. So if you have questions, if you got great content, we love to promote on social and do different promotions. And I did notice Jan asked where I'm from. I'm from Michigan originally, but I'm in Las Vegas. So I'm a Midwest girl out here on the West Coast. But yeah, no, you guys,
Shout out to Michigan. Woo!
right? You know, but yeah, so if you guys have something, awesome, you want to promote, you want to push it, let me know. This was great. And if you have any questions, again, this is the same thing we're already doing on YouTube, on Vimeo, on Instagram, except the only difference is as creators, we can actually make some money. Only difference.
Beautiful.
I know that's right.
That's the whole
Go
thing.
where the money resides.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Linda and Huda. I appreciate you guys having me.